So you can see it was quite the struggle outside Sheridan Mall LCBO last Friday. Lots of people trying to get in there, sticking cameras into the officer's point of view. You can see him wiping off blood off his forehead. He apparently was injured there. Soon enough, the officer can be heard screaming at these people, shoving cell phones in his face and trying to actually touch him to get away. By this point, he has already called for backup. He did so before even approaching that suspect, according to police. The officer is verbally abused, pushing people back. At one point, you actually see someone trying to pull the prisoner away from the officer. Now, other officers arrive on scene. They too are verbally abused. One of them continues to verbally assault the officers, swearing at them. The officer says, listen, calm down. You've said your piece. Do you want to give us a statement? The man says, no, I'm not. At one point, about 3 minutes before this video ends, the man who's taking that video says, again, he's not giving a statement. In fact, he wants to go home and get drunk, Dwight.
Okay. Now, as we looked at that situation there, whether the officer was wrong or right in initiating that arrest, the reaction of the crowd created a really tense situation there, and it shows us the changing face of policing now, where people are willing to actually try to pull a suspect out of an officer's hand.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we've all seen the videos in the U.S. and less so here in Canada of alleged brutality, but obviously for some communities there's still a lot of tension in the air with police, and we saw that here. Whether it was justified or not, well, we never know. Police, though, are saying this officer should be commended. There he was, surrounded by an angry mob, who was pushing at him, shoving at him, yelling at him. Here's what police spokesperson Mark Pugash told us about half an hour ago.
I'm really surprised that I would have to say this, but it seems most people regard it as common sense. If you're being arrested, then events will unfold, and you have an opportunity at the appropriate point to challenge it, to argue your position, and you're given right to a lawyer, and you can defend yourself in whichever way you want. That is not the time or the place to obstruct or interfere with a police officer who's in the process of making an arrest.
So the person in that video, Dwight, a 25-year-old man of no fixed address, has been charged with resisting arrest and assaulting police. But again, I think one of the big takeaways here is that whenever you reach at an officer in the commission of his duty, it's lucky perhaps even other people weren't hurt in this.
Yeah, and if this continues, we're going to see more and more situations like this on our streets. Thank you for that, Joe.
Okay.